Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm so glad to see you all here again. This is wonderful connecting with y'all, and this is something that is a great day. I look forward to these Wednesdays and connecting with you guys every week. And this is really something that is so much fun, so special to me, and I can't wait to connect with you. So, want to give a shout out to everybody who is listening, and I'm really so thankful for your watching these channels, watching these lessons, watching what I refer to as spiritual classes. I don't know what you want to call them, but it's also just generally a discussion. It's really sort of a back and forth about spirituality, about how we can connect with spirit, how we can raise our own mediumship, how can we connect with spirit, what is it that we need to do to better learn about spirit, what is it, where are they, how do we connect with them. So let me know where you're from. Let me know that you're here. Say hi in the comments. I love seeing your comments all the time. So these are always great things to see because it's the interaction that really makes these episodes so wonderful. And it's always great being live with you guys because you get to partake in this just as much as I do. So, as you may have seen, today's topic is again trying to learn how we can improve our connection with spirit. How do we learn how we can improve our connection with spirit? That's really going to be today's topic. And specifically, we're going to be going into clairsentience. And we're going to be doing some exercises in developing our clairsentience. Um, so I just wanted to kind of give that a sort of a broad overview of what we're going to be doing today. So I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the people that we already have here. I'm seeing Barb from Illinois, snowy Illinois. Wow, it's got to be. I bet you guys get tons of snow out there. It just really started to snow a little earlier today, but it was just like kind of didn't really stick. It's been really weird for us. I don't know why it's been such a really warm winter for us, but it sounds like you guys are getting a lot of snow out in Illinois. So hey Barb, how you doing? And Gloria, how you seeing? Good seeing you, Gloria, and from Jersey City, great seeing you again. You guys are you're tried and true. You're always out here, so I love seeing you guys. I know there are so many some of the others out there right now. You're just hiding. So come through. Let me see your comments. I love seeing where you're from. So getting back to today's topic, this is all about clairsentience. And if you don't know what clairsentience is, let me kind of give you a brief overview. And we'll do an overview. We'll kind of get into how we can do that and what we can develop. But kind of first off, what I wanted to do is, in case you're new to the show, in case this is something that you stumbled upon, I just wanted to kind of give you a very brief description of what the show's about and who I am. So, this show, as you may have suspected, is learning how we can become more spiritual ourselves, how we can reach out to spirit, how we can really learn about spirit, how we can develop our inner senses, learn to develop our non physical senses. So that way we can really detect and sense spirit all around us. Because remember, we're all energy. We're nothing but 99.999% of everything that is here is really energy. It's not that material stuff that you think on. It's like that chair that you're sitting on. That's not material. That's energy. So we're all energy. And so is spirit. So all we have to do is learn how we can connect with them. That's really the basis of all this. And that's one of the things that I've been doing for years and trying to teach people how they can do it. Because everybody's got these non-physical senses, right? That's the big thing. And so one of the things that I do is teach people how they can unfold their mediumship, how they can unfold their non-physical senses, and how they can improve their own connection. So, my name is Chris Lippincott. I'm an international medium. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a spiritual teacher, and I do just that. I teach people how they can connect with spirit. I teach people that, yes, you do have the ability. It's not something that you have to be born with because everybody has these non-physical senses. They're just lying dormant in the hindbrain. They're way back here. Everybody used to use these senses before we had our frontal lobe fully developed and we developed speech and all that. Animals still use their hindbrain. That's where their primary senses are, and they'll detect things. Now we've got more advanced features, so we really don't need them. So they've gone dormant. So all of our non-physical senses lie dormant, and that's the aspect that we're trying to develop. So that's something that we've all got to understand, that we can all do this. It just requires bringing it to the surface because it's lying dormant, right? So that's something to consider. And as I mentioned today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking all about clairsentience. And what is clairsentience? Clairsentience is all about the ability to gather information through your non-physical senses. It's really focused on feelings. You're sensing, you're feeling, you're detecting uh, feelings that are based on personality traits, character traits, hobbies. How is the person feeling? Clairsentience is a big one for people who are reading psychically, i.e., they're reading another person in the physical, in the living. So a person who is a psychic will quite often be using either their clairsentience, which is their feeling ability, or their clear empathy, where they are detecting emotions. Those are two big ones that are especially good for psychics reading people here in the physical. But it's also something that you can use to connect with abilities when you're detecting who is trying to communicate with you. Spirit tries to describe who they are, right? Spirit tries to tell us all about things that they describe their personality traits. They describe their character traits. They describe their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes, so that we get to know them really well. And that way we know who's communicating, who's giving us the information. And that's the basis for the beginning of the conversation back and forth between spirit, right? So that's what clairsentience is all about. So I'm seeing some more people coming out of the woodwork here. I'm seeing Trish. Hi, Trish. How you doing? I guess by MT that means you're in Montana. Is that right? Am I getting that right? So hello, Trish. I assume from Montana. Correct me if I'm wrong. Great seeing you here. And Denise in Tennessee. Hey, Denise. Love having you. This is great. We've got people from all over the country. We've got people here in New Jersey, people out in Illinois, people out in Montana, people out in Tennessee. Sometimes we've got people in England. A couple of people in England. Maybe it's just too late. It's kind of like 10:30 out there. Maybe they're done having their tea and they've gone to bed. I don't know. Um, and oh yeah, and Trish is saying snow on the ground since October. Oh my gosh, Trish, it's freezing out there. How do you guys live? It's got to be. I mean, I guess you get so much space that kind of makes up for it, right? But it's big sky country, right? Is that right? Am I getting that right? I don't know. So yeah, and KJ, how you doing, KJ? Love seeing you. Um, again, that's really what we're focusing on. We're just going back to clairsentience. Yes, clairsentience is all about that. And one of the things that we can do is develop the clairsentience using different exercises. We can focus on meditation. That's a big one, of course. You know how much I love meditation and how much I emphasize learning all about meditation. That's something that you really got to get into. And we'll do a meditation again today. We'll do a very short meditation again, sitting in the power to help raise our vibrations. So that way you can get into the exercise and you're all ready. There are other types of things that you can do to improve your clairsentience. Clairsentience is really nothing more than your gut instinct, right? It's your solar plexus. That's why they call it a gut instinct. When you're kind of walking out the door and you got a gut feeling, oh, I don't know, I shouldn't be doing this, or you're about to do some transaction, or, maybe you walk up to somebody you've never met, you shake their hand, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm not so sure I feel good about this person. And it's not that you've ever, they've got anything on their face. You just have this sudden feeling about them. You're like, "Argh." It's like you get the heebie-jeebies, but they just look completely normal, and you don't know why you're getting this feeling. Maybe you walk outside the door one morning. This is a different example. Maybe you walk out the door one morning and somehow you feel, oh well, yeah, I'm getting this really weird feeling. I should bring my umbrella. Nah, forget it. I don't need my umbrella. You walk outside, you come back later on the day, and you're soaking wet. Yes, you should have listened to your umbrella. It's your instinct. It's your intuition. Clairsentience is your gut instinct, your intuition, and it's all based in your clairsentience, right? So that's really what it's all about. So when somebody says, your gut, you get the feeling in your gut, you get that intuition. Those are all other words for clairsentience. So that's really kind of how it all comes together. And the most important thing I want you to take away tonight is always listen to your instinct. Always listen and follow your intuition. It's never, ever wrong. As one experiment, what you can do is, like, for the next week, every single time you get that little gut instinct, that little intuition, that little thing in your mind that's saying, I should be doing this, pay attention to it. Maybe write it down. Here's a great example. Walk around with a notebook specifically for your intuition, specifically for your clairsentience, right? Any single time you get that little feeling, oh gosh, I should be doing this. I feel I should be doing this. You get that gut instinct, right? Write it down and find out if in fact that's something that you should have done. If it comes true, if it's something that, yeah, it was right, because you're going to find that almost all the time, your gut instinct is 100% accurate. The problem is our ego mind wants to control things so much that we ignore it. Have you ever noticed it's like really subtle? Have you ever noticed it's like it's so quiet? You're kind of like, yeah, I really don't want to do that. So that's the problem. It's like we've got such a controlled freak desire to maintain that control that we're going to ignore all the advice that comes in. Sometimes that could even be coming in from our guides, right? The guides could be saying, we feel you should be doing this, and here's our little nudge to you, and you get that sixth sense, right? That's another word for it. All the time, this information's coming in. You're just not quite sure where it's coming from, why you're getting it, but you feel it anyway. That's what you should be doing. So be aware of that. Follow it, write it down, and for the next week, see what happens. And then once you start doing that, start to act on it. Anytime you hear it, feel it, and know it inside your gut, say, yeah, that's my gut instinct. Yeah, that's my solar plexus. Yeah, that's my clairsentience. Yeah, that's my sixth sense. Yeah, that's my intuition. I'm going to follow it. It's going to be really subtle, so pay attention to it. That's the other part. Be aware. Be aware of this all the time. Be aware. Pick it up. Know that it's coming. And you're like, oh, yeah, wow, that's my intuition. Let me take note. Let me act on it. It's telling me to do something, and I'm going to listen to it. And it's not going to come through as this harsh, mean, nasty voice saying, you got to go do this. It's going to be coming through with this really, really, really subtle voice. It's in the back of your head, right? It's like so subtle you can barely detect it, but there's something back there. So it's like a whisper. Comes in a whisper, really subtle whisper. If it's a really subtle whisper and it's kind of neutral, just kind of offering you this kind of neutral piece of information, that's the one to follow, because that's the one that's always going to be right. If it's coming in saying, you're such a loser, you got to go do this, I tell you to do this, guess what that is? That's your ego mind. Don't listen to your ego mind, because your ego mind could be left behind and you'd be better off, right? So that's the kind of stuff to do. So for the first week, take your notebook, write them down. Every single time you get these feelings, the gut instinct, the intuition, write it down and say, hey, wow, yeah. And at the end of the week, you'll find that the gut instinct, all the information that was coming through was accurate. Then start to follow it every single time you get this gut instinct. And you're going to find that you're going to be living a very different life, because all of a sudden the gut instinct is telling you and suggesting to you, you should be doing these things. Okay, I'll do this. And then you'll find, wow, I'm living a better life. I'm learning how to do these things. Maybe it's telling you to, or suggesting to you that, hey, wow, maybe you should reach out to that person and give them your name and say, hey, gee, I just wanted to reach out because I felt like I wanted to know you better. Uh, Maybe you got a new friend, or maybe you feel that you should be taking a different path. Maybe you feel I should be writing a book, or maybe you should feel I should be wearing these clothes, or maybe you feel I should do this project, or maybe you feel I want to go on this certain hike. Whatever it is, right? Start doing these things and see where it leads you, because everything that you experience and feel and undergo is for a specific reason. Nothing is by chance. The universe does not work by chance. It's physically impossible. There are laws that determine everything that's happening every microsecond of every piece of existence. It's by law, and nothing's random. It doesn't even like a bouncing ball bounce in certain directions for a specific reason. It looks like it's bouncing all over the wall, right? It looks like it's random, but it's not. There's specific reasons why things happen. So follow those, okay? Um, so really follow the energy. Follow what's in your gut, right? And that's going to help you. That's going to lead you in the right way. Um, so one of the things I wanted to do was just to do a really brief meditation. 4 or 5 minutes of sitting in the power, and get our energy up if it wasn't already up already. I think mine's like kind of up here somewhere. Uh, Hopefully we'll be able to get some music that you guys can hear. I'm not quite sure if it's going to work, but there's always a chance. Um, and let me try something here. I don't know if we're going to have it work, but let me see if it does. And I'm going to start playing this music. And what I want you guys to do is tell me if you can hear the music as it's coming across. Are you able to hear this music? I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. This is an experiment, by the way. I'm doing something a little different with the music. Wondering if you guys can hear it. So type in the type in the chat. There, now you should be able to hear it. Should be able to hear it in the background, actually. I'm trying it. It's actually a little loud. You guys hear it? Give me a thumbs up. How's the balance? You don't hear anything. I think there's a lag. Because it's coming through as a sound level on my monitor. Now you do. Okay. How's the volume? Is it good balance? Perfect. Yes. All right. The experiment worked. All right. So what I'd like you to do is to get calm. Perfect. Music is low. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be background music, right? As long as it's background music and you're able to hear my voice, we got a good mix. So I'd invite you to sit back, relax. I'll increase it a little bit. Sit back, relax. Close your eyes. Feel yourself falling into a state of calm relaxation. Begin to focus on your breathing. Feel your lungs filling with air. Feel your lungs letting go of the air. Feel yourself inhaling through your nose. Feel yourself exhaling through your mouth. Feel your muscles in your body letting go, becoming softer and softer and looser and looser as you feel the stress of the day melting away. Feel yourself becoming more relaxed and letting go. Become aware of a beautiful white light, a ball of white light in your solar plexus. Quite small at first, but it grows larger and larger with each breath you take. Feel this ball of light continue to expand, filling your lungs, filling your arms, expanding to fill your back, your abdomen, now your entire torso. This beautiful ball of light continues to expand upwards and outwards, filling your head, your hips, traveling down your upper legs to your lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes. Now every fiber of your being emits this white light. Every aspect of you is filled with this beautiful white light. You are light. You emit light. You are light. See your light continuing to expand farther out without difficulty or hesitation, without boundaries. Your light continues to expand outwards, filling your aura, filling your room. See your room filled with your beautiful white light. See your light continuing to expand outward farther and farther away. See your light begin to cover the entire planet, touching every living thing. Become aware of yourself standing on the highest mountain, looking down upon the earth, covering the globe with your light. See your light continue to expand outwards and upwards as it emanates out into the universe, as it travels out to the stars and the galaxies, to the farthest reaches of the universe, traveling out to the multiverse. Your light travels like a beam of light, a beacon in the night sky. Your light shines forth and attracts to it an even brighter light. A blinding white light, far larger than yours, comes to you, is attracted to your beautiful light. This beautiful light enwraps you tenderly and lovingly. This light fills you with unconditional love It accepts you perfectly as you are. This is universal energy, source, your creator, coming to fill you with divine love. As you look around, you see nothing but this blinding white light that stretches endlessly into eternity with no end and no beginning. You are at the center, absorbing all this light, absorbing all this love. Feel the energy. Feel the tingling. Feel source around you, surrounding you, filling you with its love. But you are in a bubble of love, a bubble of light. Thank your Creator for all that you receive, for it is time to slowly return as you travel back through the multiverse, travel back through the universe, travel back through the stars, travel back through the galaxies, travel back into the solar system, travel back into the atmosphere, travel back below the treetops, travel back into your room, travel back into your body, travel back into your chair. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground, like the roots of a tree that burrows deep into Mother Earth. You too are grounded. Feel the weight of yourself seated firmly in your chair. Feel the skin on your clothes. Become aware of your breathing once again. Feel your lungs expand on the in-breath and contract on the out-breath. Begin to wiggle your toes. And begin to wiggle your fingers. And when you feel you are ready, you can begin to open your eyes. Welcome back. So I hope that was something that everybody enjoyed. I'm glad our little experiment seemed to work somewhat. Seems like there was some good music in the background. Hopefully it was nice and soft. Hopefully you had a wonderful experience. And now that we're ready, what I want to do is to give you a little exercise for clairsentience, because that's really what we're focusing on today. What I'd like you to do is, first off, go to your mind, close your eyes for a moment, close your eyes, and go to your memory bank and pull out a time that you can recall where you were your most happy self. Perhaps it was a party. Perhaps it was a special event. Perhaps there was something unique happening. And go back and think of that incredibly ecstatically happy moment. Feel the feeling. Feel the happiness. Feel the joy. Feel what it felt like to be in that moment. That is what you're doing by eviscerating the feeling and bringing forth the feeling of happiness, the feeling of what is so wonderful. Now, next step, I want you to bring forth the memory of somebody who is now transitioned into the spirit realm. Think about their personality. Think about their character traits. Was their personality somebody who they often laughed? Maybe they had a lot of energy. Maybe they were the life of the party. Maybe they were always doing things. Maybe they were always on the go. Maybe they were quite the socialite. Maybe they were, the man about town or the big man on campus, whatever their personality was, right? So think about that personality and build an entire person just from that personality. Every aspect. Go around that person and start to describe in your own mind, your own heart, your own solar plexus, what is that person's character traits, personality traits, social traits, hobbies. What were they like? If you were to describe that person just using their character traits, their personality traits, their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes, their social mannerisms, the way they interact with people, how would you describe that? And think about that person in your mind's eye. Hold it, right? Just hold on to it. And the more you think about that, the more this person starts to become a little more tangible, a little more real, a little more, oh my gosh, they're right here. And what you're doing is actually not only creating them, but you're connecting with them as you're sending out that memory. That memory becomes an energy. That energy becomes a link. And that link becomes something where you connect with them, they connect with you, and you are now literally connecting with that person. You think to yourself, oh, that's just my imagination. Well, hate to tell you, you're actually connecting with them. And guess what? The way spirit lives is through our memories. Our memories are literally energy. It's like thinking, how about we've got like a computer bank, right? And what does a computer bank work on? It works on whether you want to use the analogy of a floppy disk or CD-ROM or hard memory or any kind of computer analogy you want to use. Maybe you want to like put the chip in there, right? That's like all filled with memory. Whatever gets filled up with memory on a computer, it's the same idea. You're filling up your brain with tons of like little computer chips for your memory. And every time you do that, that's energy. It's the same thing with a computer chip. Computer chip has lots of energy, right? That's the kind of thing that energy is all that it is. That's what we're doing. That's what our brain does. Our brain stores memory as energy. And we're energy. Spirit is energy. We think it's all physical, but that, as well as I do, is not the true reality. The true reality is energy. So we're using energy to create our memories. Those memories are then going out as energy. We're connecting with our spirit in the spirit realm as energy. And that's how we're doing this. And it's the same thing. That's what clairsentience is all about. And another exercise that you can actually do is to perhaps, connect with a friend, right? You can do this live in person. You can do this on Zoom or do it on a phone. And it's all about working with psychometry. Psychometry is the ability to read energy in an object. Let's say, for example, you pick up somebody's photograph, and back in the day when we all used to have photographs, right? A couple hundred years ago. So let's say you pick up somebody's photograph, just like from the 1960s, faded, but you see the photograph, color's kind of gone. Pick it up. The residual energy in that photograph is the energy that you're going to feel. Maybe you look at the photograph. Maybe go to somebody's house or connect with somebody. Have them give you a photograph. Let's say that photograph is a 1960s Polaroid. The photo is fading, but you pick it up and you can and you start looking at it. You don't know anything about the people on this photo, but you start to sense and feel the energy in this photo, and you're like, oh my gosh. As you start to think about the people in this photo, you'll start to have awareness of who these people are, what they were like, what their personalities like, what their characters like, what their hobbies are like, what the things they like to do, were they social. The experiment we just did, all that information will start to come to you as you start to allow yourself to basically dive into that photograph and become aware of all the energy that's emitting from that photograph. You can do the same thing with somebody's personal object. Maybe a watch, maybe a pen, maybe a piece of jewelry, whatever it is. Start exchanging objects and start doing this with a friend. Exchange objects, right? And you can start doing things like that and start finding what's the energy that you're receiving from the object. It especially happens when you are literally shaking hands or holding hands with somebody. You'll feel that person's energy. That's why a lot of times when I have a reading with somebody in person, I'll hold their hands and I will immediately get their energy. And as I'm getting their energy, I'm blending with their energy. And as I'm blending with their energy, guess who else I'm blending with? You guessed it. The three of us all blend our energy together, and it's as if I stuck my finger in a socket, like and I'm getting all this information that starts flowing in like a dam burst, right? It's the same idea. So try these exercises with objects, personal objects, objects that have meaning, and you'll start to feel all of the information start to come in. You can do that with a piece of paper. You can even do that at home, just by yourself. Cut out a whole bunch of different pieces of colored paper, right? And mix them all up, put them in a box, and then reach into the box. And you shuffled all these different pieces of paper, and they're all colored paper, right? You close your eyes, you reach into the box, you take out one of the little pieces of paper, and you say to yourself, I feel this is the color red piece of paper. And start doing that, and you'll start to sense what the different colors are. Or you could do that with numbers, right? Maybe you mix up a bunch of numbers, like cut out the numbers 1 through 10, and put those numbers in a box. Do the same thing, and close your eyes. You put it in the box, and you pull out a number, and you say to yourself, "I feel this is the number 5," whatever it is. Do this over and over and over again. This is another exercise you can do with a friend even. You can do it over Zoom or telephone. You can say, okay, I want you, friend, to think of a number from 1 to 10. And then you start saying, okay, you've got the number. Okay, now I feel that you're thinking of the number 4. And see how many times you get this right. Because you're not going to get it right in the beginning. Don't worry about that. But over time, that's the other thing. Start to mark your responses. Start to mark your answers. As you start to mark your answers, you're going to start realizing that your score starts to improve. Whether that's do it 10 times, 1 out of 10, right? Maybe the first time you get it like once or twice out of 10. But after doing this 5 or 6 times, maybe you start to see those numbers going up, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. If you're doing 6 or 7 out of 10, you're doing great. Okay, so that's kind of the benchmark. You're never going to get 10 out of 10. That just never happens. If you do, let me know. You're somebody I want to talk to. But if you start to get 6, maybe 7 out of 10, that's doing really well. And it just takes practice. After a while, you'll start to feel these things coming through, and you're going to start to realize, hey, guess what? I'm allowing my senses to tell me what's going on, and I'm just going to give what I get. And I'm not going to let my ego mind, my analytical mind, my logical mind interfere. It's whatever I get. Because that's the trick. When you do these exercises, try to ignore your ego mind. Try to ignore your logical mind. Try to ignore your analytical mind. Because I promise you, your left brain is going to be saying, you're wrong, can't be, I want to choose a different number. Because your left brain wants to analyze and be in control. This is the time for your creative right brain to step up and go, hey, now I want to start playing. And that's the thing. Think of yourself as kind of like in a daydream. Be in the daydream state, be creative, and kind of go, be in la la land when you're doing this. That's the perfect state. Because when you're in the dream state, when you're in the daydream, la la, creative right side of the brain, that's when you start making the hits. Okay? So that is everything for today. We did our meditation. We did a lot of exercises on clairsentience. We talked about how you can really improve your clairsentience. And as you start to work with your clairsentience, you're going to really start to perceive communication from spirit, because that's how they work. They work with these clairs. It is one of the stronger clairs that you can work with when you're doing communication with spirit. So really try to develop your clairsentience, and you're really going to help yourself as you begin to work with spirit, whether that's working with spirit for yourself because you want to communicate with your own family, or you're starting to receive communications from spirit for other people. Maybe you want to bring them healing. Maybe you want to bring them messages. Maybe you want to, go out and help other people. Whatever the purpose is, spirit wants to connect with you. Spirit wants to connect with everybody because they know so many people are saying, how do I connect? How do I connect with spirit? And they are trying to help us. This whole episode, for example, was something that was given to me by my guides just before we went on. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. And so as I started to speak, they're basically having me do this. So a lot of this was from them. So I thank you, my guides. Right? So you guys have any questions? Let me know. I would love to answer your questions because that's what I'm here for. I know I love to hear myself talk because it's a lot of fun. Don't we all love to hear ourselves talk? But this is your show. You tell me what questions you have. What are some of the things that are going on? And wow, I just read something here from Trish that she's saying she's got about 16 inches of snow, but she's about 7 miles away from the entrance to Glacier National Park. Oh my gosh, Trish, that sounds amazing. You and I got to compare notes, girl, because that just seems like that's phenomenal. Wow, Glacier National Park, that's glorious. Holy smokes, 16 inches. Gee whiz, that's great. Gloria is saying, yeah, believe the guides guide me today. Believe that for sure. And also, yeah, Gloria, you're saying you've received so many gifts from my son. Yeah, that's definitely something that, your son's out there. Your son's like trying to knock on your door and is saying, hey, Gloria, I'm still here. Listen to me, and you guys are trying to work together. They're always trying to work with you, and they're always trying to get that. So definitely work with your son. Definitely work with, your family, because they're all around here. They're all jumping up and down and smiling on us. They haven't gone anywhere. We think that they've disintegrated and they've left and they're gone forever. Well, guess what? We're all here to tell you, no, they're just as alive and well as we are. The only difference is, we can't see them physically. The only difference is, maybe they're in the other room. We just can't see them, can't hear them. It's so as a result, our narrow scope of mind is limited to what we can see and feel, and it's so limiting. So open your mind. That's the way to work with her, right? So if you guys don't have any more questions, what I'll do is I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. And again, that is definitely something that I love connecting with you guys. And if you do have any questions, by all means, you can reach me here. This is my email, chris@montclairmedium.com. Drop me a line, ask me a question. If you got questions, and I'm always here. I love to help you guys out and have things that really help you to move to your next step, because everybody's on an evolution. Everybody's on a learning path. So if you have any questions, by all means, hit me up at that email, right? So that's definitely something you can do, right? And if you guys are finding any value, which I hope you are, if you're finding value in this show, if you're finding this is something that's helping you, then definitely give me a thumbs up, or go down below here and subscribe to the channel, because that way, whenever I'm putting out videos, that way you'll be alerted that a new video is coming out. So by all means, that's something that is basically an alert for you. It tells you that, hey, I just put out a video, or the show's coming up, or you'll basically be kind of like on the alert list, right? So think of it that way. So by all means, if you're getting value, subscribe, and we love seeing that, right? So love seeing you guys, and I will see you soon. And if we don't talk sooner, I will see you next week. So until then, this is Chris sending you love and light, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye for now.